2 weeks after Democratic state lawmakers fled the state in protest of Republicans' new congressional maps, one representative says she's now unable to leave the floor. State Representative Nicole Collier must remain in the state capitol after Republicans required Democrats that fled the state to sign off on a law enforcement escort in order to leave the capitol at all. She refused and spent the night on the House floor because of it. Joining us now from the floor of the Texas State Senate, State Representative Nicole Collier. Representative, thank you for joining us, and I recognize that because you're on the State House floor, the video might be a little fuzzy, but we're glad you were able to join us here. The other Democrats who fled the state with you signed a document saying that they would have a law enforcement escort until votes tomorrow. Why wouldn't you sign that?
Thanks for having me on, Allie. You know, I at the moment that the directive was issued, I felt like it was wrong. It's just wrong to require grown people to get a permission slip to roam about freely. So I resisted, I objected, and the only way I knew how, and that's to resist.
You've been there now almost 24 hours. You posted a photo of yourself trying to sleep at your desk. How long are you going to stay?
As long as it takes. I mean, you know, this is the fight that all of us have in resisting, you know, the end of our democracy, basically. I mean, if we continue to let them take our freedoms, we won't have any to protect. We won't have any to defend. So we got to start, and we got to stop, and we got to push back.
When you talk about the pushback, this all comes after Democrats, including you, pushed back by leaving the state during the first special session to stop the Republican redistricting plan. What made Democrats decide to come back, and what was earned by slowing this process down, given that the maps are now on a glide path in this second session?
Sure. You know, about 2 weeks ago, no one knew the word gerrymandering, but because of the work of the Texas House Democrats, gerrymandering is a household name. We have been able to stop this first special session, and now we're continuing to fight through a legal battle on the floor. But in that process, we have seen Governor Newsom take action in California to neutralize the maps that are being proposed in Texas. So they are fighting fire with fire. You know, what's different now is that, you know, typically they say, take that high road. Well, you know, that high road has crumbled. We're on a dirt road, and we're going to meet them on that dirt road and get down and dirty just like they are. And so my fellow Democrats are ready to continue the fight with the grit that is necessary to challenge the oppressor.
And yet, these newly drawn congressional maps are most likely going to pass. So what are the next steps for you and your fellow Democrats? And, you know, I'm struck by what one of our reporters who has been all over this story on the ground in Austin said earlier. He was talking about the palpable politics of this moment. And he said, Republicans have really dropped the pretense here that this is about anything other than notching seats for Republicans. And they're doing so in midstream, basically, less than 18 months before the November midterm elections.
Absolutely. We have families in Hill Country, Texas, in the Hill Country who need relief from the tragic floods that happened on July 4th. They have made they're not hiding the fact that they don't care. In fact, they want to put this politics over the people that have been harmed by the tragedy of the floods. And they are ignoring the requests of the families who actually came to the Capitol and asked them and pleaded with them to provide relief. Instead, they want to feed their own political ambition and do what Trump has directed. And so I hope that other legislators would find the courage to stand up and say no, and that they are going to represent the people that elected them to do their job.
Texas State Representative Nicole Collier, I'm glad you brought up the flood relief because that is another key piece of this special session. Thank you for coming on and talking about it all with us.